Harry, mate, the unbeatables are still on.
That's done bit Zuma. Zuma. Jane looks like she'd be in Madame Tussauds.
Tabasco.
It's not Tabasco.
What's the situation with Lingard?
Wingardium Leviosa.
What is it with us today? Why can't none of us speak? Hello and welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time. We are back at full foursome. We are foursome. We're all back. Nice to have you back, Charlotte. I'm joined once again by Jamie.
How you doing?
Harry.
Hello.
Charlotte.
Hello.
And guys, another win.
Was it just me singing, "We're gonna win the league"? We're gonna win
Harry, mate, the unbeatables are still on.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just hoping we'll do like a sort of a Leicester season where it just keeps going on and on and on.
Can you imagine? Guys, can you imagine if we end up winning this league?
Yeah. The game, it was a bit I sat there, it was a bit boring, wasn't it? It was boring. I was expecting a lot better. I was expecting a lot better from Luton, to be honest, for their first game and their fans behind them. I don't know, that Piquet pass, I think it needed something like that on a small pitch like that to sort of open them up and create a chance. And that pass, to be honest, I want to know what Jamie's reaction was when you're watching that and seeing that Piquet pass, because I know what his feelings are towards Mr. Lucas Piquet. So I want to know. I want to get some action, some facial expressions, what his face was like when the pass was made.
Again, it was much like reliving the slow-mo goal, so it was just like class. No, it was the build-up, mate. I was actually more impressed by Alvarez in that, where he did the two 1-2s and then laid it off to Piquet, and Piquet just set it out and then obviously whipped it. It's terrible keeping, by the way. Terrible goalkeeping. Yeah. No reason why that should be going in. But yeah, I was in a pub watching that. I screamed loudly in there. I was the only West Ham fan and I was proud. But yeah, they didn't have to sound on the game either. They had karaoke going on in the next room. It was absolute rascal. But yeah, I screamed loud enough to be heard at least. It was just class, man. It was class.
But the fact that we made as many passes in a game as the 3 games before this season, I think we made 502 in the first 3 games, and I think that game we made 504.
509.
So it's the fact we made more passes in one game than we did. Just says it all, really, how much of what kind of game it was.
I just don't think we don't play possessive football anyway. I think we're so much better on the counter. We've said it like many times. And yeah, I just think like it just shows that when we have actually then got more possession the following week, where our weaknesses were. Like
Shah said, I wasn't very confident. I don't know, us having the ball and keeping the ball and just having that possession sort of side, it doesn't really suit us. I don't know why. I felt more comfortable with sort of playing on the counter and us sitting behind the ball. I don't know if that's how like Moyes has got us set up and how much of a low block we play and stuff like that. But I just feel much more comfortable with the other team having the ball, which sounds very odd as a football fan to say that. When your team doesn't have the ball, you feel more confident.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, mate. I think we looked like we struggled in moments, and I think part of that is the occasion of what the game actually was and what Luton were doing in terms of just, as I said, throwing everything at us. But we didn't look comfortable with the ball at times, and we didn't play very good football, which I don't mind because we got the win. But it'll be interesting to see what happens when we play a team similar to our level that maybe isn't going to come to the London Stadium and get 70% possession. It'll be interesting to see how the game plays out when we actually have to attack and not have to solely rely on the counter-attack. If we just become a completely counter-attacking team, it'll just be interesting to see how the season plays out in that regard.
Well, we're going to have to play teams probably with a lot more intensity when we're in Europe, because the fixtures are finally out. And are we booked? Who's booked on what? What are we doing?
Anyone booked yet?
I'm heading out to Athens.
Are you booked in our accommodation yet, Shah?
Yes.
Jamie, are you coming?
Probably not. No, I probably won't do any of the away days in Europe this year, just because it's impossible to get time off work.
Yeah.
But
I can speak to your boss.
You speak to my boss.
What do you mean you can't get time off work? It's West Ham Europe.
Yeah. I'll go out there if I. But what I'll do is I'll speak to work and see if I can go out there with work.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do.
That'll be the way to do it.
Yeah, just build a way around it, you know. But it's West Ham in Europe. We might never be in Europe ever again. I know I've said this for 3 consecutive seasons now, but we could never be in Europe ever again. So
and when are you ever going to see West Ham in Serbia? Let's be honest.
I am so excited for Serbia. I don't even know where we're going in Serbia, but Harry's booked it, and I'm so excited. We're flying into Belgrade.
Yes, Belgrade. Yeah.
And then we're staying somewhere that starts with a K.
Yes, correct. Yes, you've done your own work.
A bit. I don't even know my please, my thanks and hellos. I did that on every European country that we went to last year. I tried to remember please, hello, and thank you. But I feel like the Serbian might be a bit more difficult.
I haven't told you it's a hostel with a shared bathroom yet, though, have I?
Harry, no, you didn't mention that. Actually,
I'm joking.
I thought I was staying in I said to you, book me a nice hotel room. You've booked me in a hostel. Have you got a nice room in a nice hotel? And you booked me into a hostel?
Got one next door. Like the film Hostel. Have you seen the film Hostel?
No. What's the
You don't want to.
Yeah, go Google that one.
Go Google that film.
What do we think though of our group? I'm quite happy with our group. I know there's been obviously a lot said about Germany.
It'll be a hard game.
Definitely.
I don't think it will be. They haven't been playing well recently. I know they've won 2 opening games, haven't they? But compared to Olympiacos that we used to get before, I know they've got pedigree, but they're not the Olympiacos that they used to be.
I think that would be one of the most intimidating atmospheres you will walk into as a football fan. 100%. That's not going to be an easy place to play. It'll be like Frankfurt-esque in terms of how the fans are going to get on top of them. Like last week, Panathinaikos were in a Champions League playoff against Braga. They lost, but I think there was like 70,000 fans there. The Greeks are passionate when it comes to football, and Olympiacos is just going to be an absolute. They're going to make it hell for us. And also, on top of that, we're now a scalp for any team playing in this competition, where the fans are going to want to beat, want us to lose, and the teams are going to want to beat us more than normal. So yeah, you can't underestimate Olympiacos just because they're not playing well in the Greek league. No way.
It's not the team that scares me.
So we
being European champions as well.
What about the Serbian team? Who's done their homework on Serbia?
Without giggling it, tell me their name.
TSC.
Baka to Boca.
No, close, Harry. How about you?
Close.
What is it?
It's like Tabasco.
It's not Tabasco. Right, please clip that up, Jess. Please. Tabasco.
Tabasco versus West Ham. It's going to get spicy.
FC, guys.
It's going to get spicy.
Yeah. Right. FK TSC Baka Topola.
Baka Topola.
I'm halfway there.
Yeah.
Is this their first time in a European competition?
I will be honest, Harry. The first time I read their name out was when I saw the draw last week.
Just going off people reading out names. Did anyone see Noble reading out the Conference League names?
Yeah. Oh my god, that is hilarious. No, stop it.
He even said Aston Villa in an accent. Aston Villa.
Aston Villa. Maccabi Tel Aviv. Bodo Glimt.
It was hilarious. But my mate's Serbian, and I've asked him about him just to get some intel, and he didn't have a clue who they was. He'd never heard of them either. So that says it all, really.
Fine. So we reckon they're not really that much of a threat. And what about who do you reckon's more of a threat between Freiburg and Olympiacos?
Germans always have good teams, no matter where they are in the league. It's always a tough place to go. But I think Olympiacos, just because that, like Jay said, they're sort of fans, it's going to be intimidating. And the Greeks, they're Champions League really normally every year. Olympiacos, you got to remember that. They're normally always in the Champions League. I can't wait to go. Listen, I've always wanted to go to Athens. It looks like a great stadium. And I think they're putting it in high risk at the London Stadium as well. So that's like up there with like your Millwalls and your Tottenhams. So they're obviously expecting it to be a massive sort of hatred game.
My sister wanted to do a European away day because she was gutted that she didn't come to Prague, but she didn't really have that much of an interest in football. I feel like this is one hell of a game to just bring her along to.
Tell me about
She'll never watch football again.
we can't disregard Freiburg either. They finished 5th in the Bundesliga last year. They had a good season. They got
they were only 3 points off Champions League, weren't they, last season?
I wouldn't be super confident going into it, but we have enough in our squad to win the game. We just can't overlook them.
I was just looking at it as a win-win situation anyway. I mean, if we finish in the top 2, we go through to the rounds of 32 or whatever it is, and if we do finish third, we drop down to the Conference League again.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win situation, whatever happens, really. As long as we don't finish bottom, I think we're all...
Yeah, unless we come fourth.
Yeah.
No, we've got to be careful. We need to finish top because otherwise we'll play the Champions League teams that have dropped down, right?
That's correct, yeah.
And that's going to be not very fun. So
it's extra away day, that's the only thing.
Yeah, true.
It is an extra away day. It is. I know. And because we're not going to be able to go to Freiburg because we're banned anyway, aren't we? So we could do with a little extra away.
I was actually, you could taste the currywurst on my lips. I'll just go in on Zuma. I think since he's got the armband, obviously all season, the last 4 games he has, he's just turned into a different player. I mean, he's put that armband on his upper arm, and he's turned into a beast. He's gone beast mode on us.
Well, it's been announced, hasn't it, that he's officially club captain.
Has it been announced now?
Today, yeah.
No, I missed that.
I missed that as well.
Wait, double check that. I'm sure it has.
Sure, don't start spinning rumours.
Maybe it hasn't.
I just googled Zoom and I can't find it. Where did you see it, Char?
Wait, I saw it on YouTube, but maybe they were talking about the last 4 games. I didn't verify my facts, so let's.
That's where I get my information on YouTube.
Who was the YouTube source? Go on.
I don't remember. It was a West Ham channel. Maybe it was the West Ham one.
Maybe it was Mark. Are you
right?
Are you responsible for this?
Well done, Sharp.
So, have you seen the rumours of Lionel Messi making a transfer to West Ham?
You saw it on YouTube.
You see that on YouTube, Jay?
I saw it on the tube. Someone had drawn a picture.
It was Lionel Messi with crossed hammers. This is the whole reason why Kurt Zouma should be a captain. If you watch every West Ham media post and video they put up, you watch Zuma. You watch Zuma. No,
please clip that.
I'm getting done every week here with these. You know that.
Kuma. That's outrageous. Fucking hell.
Oh, new best mate.
If you watch Zuma, if you watch him.
Oh.
Hell. Jess, please. Jess, you've got so much choice here.
I wonder how he'll play against Tabasco.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
He's on heat. If you watch the videos, the media, everything, all the stuff they do throughout the social media, you watch Kurt Zouma and you see the amount of players he has around him.
Yeah.
Sort of always talking to him, always laughing, joking. He's got that team wrapped around his little finger in a good way. Everyone wants to be his mate. Everyone wants to go on holiday with him. Everyone wants to sort of have a laugh and joke with him. You can see that in the media and the videos they put up. So you can see he's a right fit for a captain. And like Moyes said in his post interview, he's a France World Cup winner.
He's a baller.
Questions from Twitter, guys. Thanks for everyone who got in touch with us today. We really appreciate it. Question number 1. What's the situation with Lingard?
Wingard? Oh my God. That's work rumour.
Wingardium Leviosa.
What is it with us today? Why can't none of us speak?
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself.
He's the only one who hasn't said anything wrong.
Jamie keeps freezing.
Right, Wingardium Leviosa, Jesse Lingard. Our thoughts? Do we want him back or not? Show of hands. Put your hand up if you want him back. No, actually, no, maybe not. Actually, do you know what? He broke my heart when he wore this shirt because he was great in it, didn't he? Wouldn't he? And that season that he came back from Man United, he scored that goal when I was at home, and it was awful. And I've never really forgiven him for that.
He's a great player. On his day, he's a great player. He's a good player to have around the camp, if you want to say it. I rate him. I always thought he was quite a good player, to be honest. If we were getting back to sort of anywhere near what he was like for us, and we've got a great player on his hand. I think they're talking about paying him on a sort of game by game basis, which sort of suits everyone down to a T, really. I mean, we're going to have a lot of sort of fixtures coming up soon. Come October, I think we've got Europa, the Cups, and whatnot. So we're going to have a lot of fixtures. Right now, we don't really need them because it's sort of one game every week. But you're going to be soon having 2 games a week, pretty much every week soon coming up. So we're going to need these players coming in.
I make you right, Harry. I mean, looking back at his loan spell at us, I'd struggle to think of too many other loan spells that were better than that, really. In footballing history, it was incredible for us. I'll never begrudge a man for making a monetary decision. Obviously, it hurt that he chose Nottingham Forest over us, but footballers get a finite amount of time in their careers, and I'll never begrudge someone for going somewhere for money. He would have went to Nottingham Forest assuming that he played Premier League football as well. My only real concern is that it didn't really work out for him at Nottingham Forest. They didn't have the best of seasons, and come the end of the year, he wasn't really playing for them.
I'm so sorry. I'm looking after a cat. Here's the cat.
It's Zuma.
What was I saying? I'll never begrudge a man for making a monetary decision. I understand it. If you put 2 jobs in front of me and one of them was offering more money than the other, more likely I'm going to take more money. And I think most of us would. And I think a lot of fans are naive in that respect. It was offered 100k a week at Nottingham Forest. That's a good offer, and I don't begrudge him for doing it. It was a shame because it worked out so well, and obviously it hasn't worked out at Nottingham Forest. But the only real concern that I've got about the move is that it didn't work out for him at the club. He obviously went there on big money and didn't really feature for them, and they struggled a lot. I just worry that if he comes into West Ham, what Jesse Lingard are we going to get? Are we going to get the loan spell Jesse Lingard, who's eager and hungry to prove himself, or are we going to get the Jesse Lingard that was at Nottingham Forest and couldn't really get a game? Saying that, Harry nailed it in terms of the heavy schedule that we've got a lot of games to play this year and a lot of competitions, and having an extra body like a Jesse Lingard who has technical ability and magic in his feet at times and can make things happen. And if you're playing teams where you need a little bit of spark, someone like Jesse Lingard is someone that can come off the bench or start in a game against a lesser opposition possibly and make it happen. So overall, I would bring him in on a pay-per play offer, like Harry said, and hopefully we can get, if we get 60% of the player that Jesse Lingard can be, then he's an asset to the squad.
So we only had time for one question today, but we will definitely be answering more next week. So on that note, this has been Stoppage Time. We hope you enjoyed, and we shall see you next week. Hurrah!
Hurrah! Iron.